Monstrous. Fade in. Exterior, school, St. Stephen's outskirts, day. Harrison Vercoe, 12, shy and mousy. He stands alone beneath a huge school reception porch, his slight frame smothered by his uniform blazer and parka. He stares out to the empty parking lot and the empty road beyond. Rain pours, relentless. Behind the billowing clouds, somewhere, the sun falls towards the horizon. It's fall, somewhere in the North America Rust Belt. School lights flicker off behind him. He pulls a cracked cell phone from his pocket. The time shows 6:32 p.m. He searches through his cell contacts to Dad. He puts the cell to his ear. The person you are trying to reach is... The door behind clicks open. He jumps. A weather-beaten man emerges in janitor overalls. He locks the door and crooks a leathery smile through a thick white mustache. Harrison makes the briefest eye contact.
You still here?
Harrison nods.
Someone picking you up?
Harrison nods. The janitor looks out to the road. The beams of a single car strain on the horizon.
That them?
Harrison nods again. The janitor grunts.
All right. Good night.
The janitor steps out, instantly sodden in the rain. He shuffles, unbothered, to a rust bucket in the farthest corner of the parking lot. Back to Harrison's phone. Contacts. Mom. His thumb hovers. The janitor's old auto drags itself out of the parking lot and onto the road. Harrison slips the phone back in his pocket and pulls up the hood on his parka. He steps away from the shelter of the enormous Victorian Gothic school and out into the rain. Exterior country road, day. Harrison trudges along the road. A bus splashes past and pulls in ahead. He sprints through the sludge to catch it. Interior bus continuous. The bus is almost empty. Harrison sits and stares at the old industrial town. It crumbles in terminal recession. Exterior, street, night. The bus stops. Harrison climbs out and the bus pulls away. Chatter. He stops, squints through the downpour. Thick haze envelopes three large silhouettes under a porch. Something rises amongst the group. A huge Rottweiler, Toro. Harrison scurries into a perpendicular street. 25 yards along, he reaches the mouth of an alley. He peeks. In the dark, three teenage boys in Toro stare at him through swirling haze. Harrison moves fast. They're at the next alley, and the next. Toro snarls. Harrison sprints to the final crossroad. The teenagers exit the alley onto the same street 20 yards away, clearly visible under lamplight. They sneer. Rob is the lead, 15, well-dressed and tall, much taller than Harrison. Every angle of his frame is dagger-like. Next is Mike, also 15. Clearly a jock, he lurches, huge and emotionless, with dark pit-hole eyes. The last one is Phil, younger than the other two, and bloated on a diet of junk food and vape. He drags long and deep on his e-cig, then forces the smoke out through his nostrils like a bloated Chinese dragon. Phil clicks with his mouth, and Toro lunges forward onto his hind legs. The retractable leash whips taut. Phil leans back to counter the weight. His thumb hovers over the cable release switch. Rob wolf whistles. Click. Cable whizzes out from the leash handle as Toro is released. The cable yanks at full length and catapults Phil into a forced run. Rob and Mike launch into a sprint. Harrison darts across the road, through an alley, and on a slippery cobbled path towards an abandoned railway bridge. Harrison sprints under the bridge to the other side, where the road is banked left and right by a tall chain wire fence, do not trespass signs, and steep woodland. He makes for a large hole in the fence and claws at the mud to squeeze through. Broken wire ends rake him in his blazer snags. Stuck fast. The gang closes, relentless. The leash handle slips from Phil's hand and clatters along the cobbles after Toro. Harrison pulls at his blazer. In a desperate cry, he launches himself backwards and rips the blazer free as Toro's battering ram head smashes through the same hole. Blood and drool sprays Harrison's face as Toro's collar catches and whips his head back. Harrison scrambles backwards as the boys slam into the fence blocked by Toro. Rob pulls at the fence, furious, while Harrison climbs up into the woods.
Fuck!
He shakes and kicks at the fence.
Fuck! Fuck!
He points at Mike.
What were you doing?
Phil wheezes as Rob turns to him, and Toro whimpers.
And where the fuck?
Exterior private woods, night. The hill plateaus. It's dark now, and the downpour deafens. Harrison staggers and fights for breath. Whispers hiss from the dark. Harrison fumbles his cell phone from his pocket, turns the torch, and waves it at the trees.
Hello?
Still nothing. Through the trees and rain, suburban lights glimmer 1/2 kilometer in the distance. Hope. Another light flicks on much closer, meters away. Harrison freezes to the spot as it rotates upwards. Rob's soaking face sneers out of the dark like a grotesque Venetian mask.
Boo.
Mike puts a shh finger to his lips as he and Phil step out of the darkness. Toro snarls, his face covered in congealed blood and hideous deep scratches from the wire fence.
You know, it only gets worse when you run. Now lose the phone.
Harrison throws it to the mud and Mike stamps on it.
Hey, Kano. Don't want to hang with us?
Phil grips Toro's collar and unclips the leash. He hands it to Mike and strains to hold Toro back from Harrison.
We've got something extra special for you this time.
Rob looks back at Mike and Phil. The three share a grin. Rob bites his lip in excitement. He tongues the wound and turns back to Harrison with a bloody smile.
Welcome to Pinata Club.